A very good evening to you and welcome to the program, The Eagle. The Eagle is a weekly program produced by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. My name is Aisha Gambari. Presenting the program with me is Aisha Mohammed. Hello.
Hi Aisha. Good evening viewers, and thank you for joining us on the program.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has lauded the support the Commission had received over the years from the British government in its drive to purge Nigeria of corruption.
A prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of a former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, and his Commissioner of Finance, Omadachi Okolobia, has told Justice A.R. Mohammed of the Federal High Court Abuja how his company was used to sell shares belonging to Benue State by the defendant.
Still on court matters, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has finally arraigned former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex S. Badi, alongside Iyalikam Nigeria Limited, before Justice Okon E. Abang on the 10 counts charge bordering on money laundering, criminal breach of trust, and corruption to the tune of about 4 billion naira.
And in its quest to rid the country of corruption, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has again been called upon to remain dogged in its mandate aimed at having a corruption-free society in Nigeria.
Please stay with us as we bring you this report and many others right after the break. Don't go away.
Hello, my name is Charlie Boy, a.k.a. the Area Father. Yes, like I've been saying for donkey years now, Nigerians have been living on corruption money. So when things starts to go a little bit out of order, we know why it's going out of order. Corruption kills. I don't need to tell you that. We have to fight this menace with a vengeance. And that's what I say.
Welcome back. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has lauded the support the Commission had received over the years from the British government in its drive to purge Nigeria of corruption. Golden Agu completes the report.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has lauded the support the Commission had received over the years from the British government in its drive to purge Nigeria of corruption. Ibrahim Mago, acting chairman of EFCC, made the commendation while receiving a delegation from the United Kingdom under the aegis of Parliamentary Committee on International Development, who were on a visit to the Commission's head office in Abuja. Going down the memory lane, Mago pointed out that the first funds received by the Commission was gotten from the British government and that the fund was instrumental in the building of the EFCC Academy. According to him, it was because of the unwavering support of the UK that other countries were encouraged to come and partner with the EFCC.
I'm delighted, I am touched. I'm really happy that we can receive a very high delegate, very sincere delegate like you to this office. I mean, this is the best we had since the inception of the EFCC.
The anti-graft Tsar added that the British government's support gave the Commission the courage to touch the untouchables in the country. While commending President Buhari for his political will in fighting corruption, Margot also expressed delight over the Commission's relationships with other countries in Africa and beyond, which he said had made it almost impossible for corrupt elements to escape justice. The EFCC boss, however, solicited more support in the area of capacity building in order to be abreast of the modern trends in investigation of corruption cases. Speaking earlier, the leader of the delegation, Stephen Twigg, expressed satisfaction over the activities of the Commission in the fight against corruption and encouraged it to be steadfast in its vision to make Nigeria a corrupt-free nation. Twigg said that they were in the Commission to find out how they can be of help to have a spot assessment of the ongoing project at the permanent site of the EFCC.
We're visiting Nigeria as a very important friend and partner of our country, but also a country with whom DFID works, to look at DFID's programmes and to look what more can be done to support the work that is happening here in Nigeria. We were very keen to meet you today, so it's fantastic that you've agreed to see us. And I know that after a short discussion here, the plan is that you're going to take us to visit the new headquarters that you have, and we'd be very keen to hear more about that.
On the visit were Member of the Parliament for Stafford constituency, Jeremy Lefroy, Member of Parliament for Aldridge Brownhills, Wendy Morton, and Member of Parliament for Erling Southall, Vedra Sharma. Others are Helen Prout, MP, Dr. Lisa Cameron, Albert Owen, and Stephen Ayres. The delegation thereafter visited the Commission's permanent head office project, where facilities and other structures on ground were assessed. Still on courtesy visits, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has again been called upon to remain dogged and vigorously pursue its mandate aimed at having a corrupt-free society in Nigeria. The chairman, Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, PACAC, Professor Isse Shagai, gave the charge during his courtesy visit to the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Margot. Shagai expressed the commitment of President Muhammadu Buhari's government towards creating an enabling environment for the Commission to carry out its mandate, adding that the only way to guarantee a better future for Nigerians is to wipe out corruption from our system. He called on all and sundry to reject corruption of all shades and embrace the principles of transparency, accountability, and good governance. In his remarks, the EFCC chair, Ibrahim Margot, expressed delight over the visit and vowed to spare nobody, no matter how highly placed, indicted of corruption. Shagai also visited the permanent site of the Commission along Airport Road, Abuja, which is under construction. At the site, Dixon Otitoju, the project coordinator, conducted the committee members round the major facilities at the site. Some of the facilities include the clinic, the main building, the male and female cells, the 900 vehicle capacity car park, the forensic labs, and the basements. Golden Ago, reporting for the Eagle.
Still on foreign partnership, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC is to work in partnership with the Cybercrime Convention Committee CCC with a view to effectively tackle cybercrime in Nigeria. Rolake Odofinjolayemi has this and other reports.
The acting chairman, EFCC, Ibrahim Margot, gave the hint when receiving members of the Cybercrime Convention Committee who were on a visit to the Commission's head office in Abuja. Margot, who decried the alarming rate in which youths get involved in cybercrime, said the menace can be stemmed when there is synergy between the Commission and other relevant agencies. The anti-graft czar lauded the existing relationship and the support the EFCC enjoys from other foreign partners such as the United States and the United Kingdom, which he said had helped the Commission in tracking some of the looted funds laundered abroad. According to him, the Commission has enjoyed tremendous support from these countries and a host of others in terms of information and intelligence sharing, trainings, donation of polygraph machines and trainings of the polygraphers, donation of the forensic recovery evidence device, to mention but just a few.
There were a lot of tricks by criminals to take away capital flight. So as a result, now we have now a foreign exchange practices section, advanced fraud section, and the cybercrime section. You have become autonomous.
While soliciting the support of the committee in sanitizing the cyberspace, the EFCC boss expressed delight over their visit, which he said would foster good relationship between the two organizations. In his remark, the leader of the team, Alexander Segar, Executive Secretary CCC, while highlighting some of the activities of the committee, said that they were in the commission to interface and discuss key issues involving cybercrime. While lauding the decision of the commission to partner with the CCC, Segar said, "There are many countries apart from the US and the UK who need to and are willing to cooperate with the EFCC in line with the Budapest Convention." He gave guidelines on how Nigeria can be listed in the Budapest Convention and promised that the convention will support the EFCC and Nigeria to sanitize the cyberspace with a view to fight cybercrime-related offenses.
Opportunity for Nigeria to also join that treaty and accede to it. And of course, once there is a request for accession, that would also facilitate, make it easier for us to provide technical assistance on a broader scale to Nigeria.
Still on courtesy calls, Chairman, Association of Bureau de Change of Nigeria, Alhaji Aminu Gwadabe, has pledged the support of the association for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in the fight against corruption. Speaking during a courtesy visit to the office of the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, in Abuja, Gwadabe said the association wants to align with the boost recorded so far in the economy as a result of the unrelenting efforts of the EFCC to fight corruption. He said the naira is weakened by unearned income and high demand for foreign exchange used for laundering activities. He said his association is working on a system that will enable the EFCC and the NFIU monitor the buying and selling of foreign exchange by bureau de change operators. He further stated that the Commission was in the process of capturing unlicensed operators for easy monitoring of their activities. Responding, Magu reassured the group that the Commission would not rest on its oars to rid the country of corruption. Also at the EFCC headquarters was the Chairman, House Committee on Interior, Honorable Jagaba Adams Jagaba. Jagaba, who led other members of his committee on the visit, said the visit was to indicate the readiness of the committee to partner with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in its investigative hearing on all agreements between the Federal Ministry of Interior and any company or individual. According to him, the partnership would cover any matter relating to the issuance of travel documents, residence permits, and border surveillance, amongst others. Jagaba, who encouraged Magu to be relentless in the fight against corruption, further said, in the course of prosecuting the war, Magu will be hated by many and called unprintable names. He called on Magu not to be dismayed because where there is a will, there is a way. Responding, the anti-graft czar, Magu, thanked the committee for words of encouragement and support, adding that the commission needs more support from the populace. Rolake Odofin Jolaimi, reporting for the Eagle.
Now to court reports. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC arraigned a former Interior Minister Abba Moro and 4 others before Justice Anwuli Chikere of the Federal High Court Abuja. Moro, who was granted bail based on self-recognition, was said to have defrauded over 600,000 Nigerian job seekers through e-payment for their online recruitment exercise into the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, on March 17, 2013. Kamali Gaby has the report.
The other accused persons are Anastasia Daniel Nwobia, a deputy director in the ministry, F.O. Aleye Bami, one Mahmoud Amadou at large, and the firm that handled the recruitment exercise, Drexel Tech Nigeria Limited. The contract awarded to Drexel Global Tech Limited for the provision of online enlistment and recruitment was carried out through selective tendering procedure by inviting 4 firms without seeking the approval of Bureau for Public Procurement (BPP), contrary to Section 40 of the Public Procurement Act, No. 65 of 2007, and punishable under Section 58 of the same Act. Furthermore, Drexel Global Tech Limited is said to be unregistered and lacked the legal capacity to enter into the said contract. One of the accused, Mahmoud Amadou, who is at large, allegedly connived with Drexel Global Tech Limited to launder over 400 million naira, which was part of the total sum obtained from the applicants. The defendants pleaded not guilty to all the counts preferred against them. Upon their plea, counsel to EFCC, Aliyu Yusuf, urged the court to fix a date for the prosecution to open its case and remand the accused persons in prison custody pending trial. However, counsel to the second defendant, Chris Uche, SAN, urged the court to allow the second defendant, Nwobia, a nursing mother and former permanent secretary at the Ministry of Interior, continue with administrative bail earlier granted her by the EFCC. Justice Chikere ruled that the administrative bail for the second defendant would continue until pending motions are taken. The judge ordered Moro and Alaye Bami to be remanded in prison custody pending trial and adjourned the arguments on bail application till the next adjourned date of March 2, 2016. At the next adjourned date, Justice Chikere opined that Moro is not likely to jump bail, escape or interfere with his trial. He was granted bail based on self-recognition by the judge. On the other hand, the second and third defendants, Nwobia and Alaye Bami, were admitted to bail in the sum of 100 million naira each, with a surety each in like sum. The sureties must be an officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in any state of the Federation at a directorate cadre. The sureties must have landed properties worth that amount in any part of the country. The title deeds of the properties are to be deposited, along with 2 recent passport photographs of the sureties and the defendant applicants as well. The judge also ordered that the international passports of all accused persons must be deposited with the court registrar, adding that the second defendant, who had hitherto been on administrative bail, would continue on same until the bail conditions are met. The case has been adjourned to April 27, 2016 for trial. Still on court matters, Aluyi Victor, portfolio manager of Elixir Investment Partners Limited, a brokerage firm, testifying at the ongoing trial of a former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, and his Commissioner of Finance, Omodachi Okolobia, has told Justice A.R. Mohammed of the Federal High Court, Abuja, that the company was given oral instruction to sell shares belonging to the state. He said sales of the Benue State-owned shares yielded over 9 billion naira. Led in evidence by the prosecuting counsel, Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, he told the court that sometime in January 2014, the company made a presentation to the state's executive on the need to consolidate its financial assets in order for it to be properly managed for optimal returns. The witness went on that Elixir got a verbal instruction from the former commissioner to consolidate the shares from various stock brokering houses, which was valued at over 25 billion naira and made up predominantly of Dangote Cement and Julius Berger shares. He told the court that the instruction from Okolobia was handed down to the managing director of the company, ordering that the money made from the sales be paid into 3 different bank accounts. Based on the instruction, a total of 1 billion naira was paid to Benue Investment and Property Company Limited and over 5 billion naira to Benue State Ministry of Finance. He added that a third payment of over 3 billion naira, being part of the money made from the sale of the shares, was credited into the Zenith Bank account of Fanfash Resources, a bureau de change firm owned by one Abubakar Umar. A written instruction for the remittance of the proceeds from the sale of shares had already been presented before the court at a previous sitting and admitted as evidence against the defendants. In his further testimony, the witness said, and I quote, "At the point of making payment, we however realized that there was no name of Fanfash Resources on the written instruction, and we made the observation that the account does not belong to Benue State Government or Benue State Ministry of Finance." End of quote. He further noted that another 24 million shares of Dangote Cement was sold in order to mitigate the risk of a substantial drop in the value of the portfolio, and over 3 billion naira was realized as they had gotten a written instruction to raise 10 billion naira for the state. The letter for the instruction to raise the said 10 billion naira and a letter of authority to sell block trade at a discount of 15% in the stock market were admitted as evidence. Also accepted as evidence were the certified true copies of the letter of instruction acknowledged by the bank and forwarded to the company. Justice Mohammed thereafter adjourned to March 22, 2016 for continuation of trial. Still on former state governors' trials, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has presented 3 more witnesses against the former Plateau State Governor Joshua Darie, who is being prosecuted on a 23-count charge bordering on money laundering and diversion of funds before Justice Adebunkola Banjoko of the Federal Capital Territory FCT High Court, Gudu, Abuja. In addition to being accused of siphoning over 1 billion naira ecological funds meant for the state, Darie is also alleged to have diverted over 200 million naira meant for the state treasury to Ebenezer Retnan Ventures, a company linked to him. The EFCC presented an assistant director with the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation NDIC, Mobolanle Folarami, the state's accountant general, Cyril Isenyil, and the cluster control manager in the internal control unit of Diamond Bank Garki branch in Abuja, Celestine Idiaye, as its fourth, fifth, and sixth witnesses. Led in evidence by prosecuting counsel Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, Folarami, who has spent about 27 years with NDIC, testified as to the authenticity of statements of accounts from the defunct All States Trust Bank, ASTB, linked to the alleged fraud. The witness said they got a letter from the EFCC demanding for the statement of account of a customer, which was responded to because they have the computer server, being the liquidator in custodian of all the statement of accounts of all the customers of the defunct All States Trust Bank. Identifying the cover letter, statement of account, and certificate of identification, Folarami told the court that all the entries took place while the bank was still in operation. She further explained that the server had security codes that made it impossible for anyone to tamper with the document or alter any figures in the statement of account domiciled with any closed bank in Nigeria. She said, and I quote, "We retrieved the statement of account of the particular customer as at the date of closure when the Central Bank of Nigeria revoked the license and forwarded same to the EFCC, and the state of the computer server was in good and perfect form." End of quote. GS Pool, SAN, counsel to Darie, objected to the admissibility of the documents, arguing that since Folarami was not a staff of the bank, she could not speak as to the authenticity of the documents. Jacobs, however, contended that the objection was misplaced because the witness explained elaborately that the bank had been liquidated by the NDIC, which is the liquidator, and NDIC is in custody of the bank's computer server, and so the liquidator has assumed the position of the All States Trust Bank. The objection to the admissibility of the documents by Paul was overruled by the trial judge, and the documents accepted as part of exhibits in the trial. Under cross-examination, Isaniel, on his part, told the court that the Office of the Accountant General was unable to trace several vouchers related to checks linked with the alleged fraud. In his testimony, Idiaye told the court that the EFCC requested for documents of transactions done with the defunct Lion Bank, which was acquired by Diamond Bank PLC. The certificate of identification, along with the documents related to the accounts, were presented in court and admitted as part of exhibits in the trial of Darie. Justice Banjoko thereafter adjourned till April 5, 2016 for continuation of trial.
Glad to have you back. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has finally arraigned former Chief of Defense Staff Alex S. Badi alongside Iyalikam Nigeria Limited before Justice Okon E. Abang on a 10-count charge bordering on money laundering, criminal breach of trust and corruption to the tune of about 4 billion naira. The report.
Badi, while being the Chief of Defense Staff, was alleged to have, among other things, abused his office between January and December 2013. He allegedly used dollar equivalent of the sum of over 1 billion naira removed from the accounts of the Nigerian Air Force to purchase a mansion situated at number 6 Ogun Street off Danube Street, Maitama, Abuja. The offence is in contravention of Section 15, subsection 2D of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended and punishable under Section 15, subsection 3 of the same Act. The first defendant, Bade, pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against him. In view of the plea of the defendant, counsel to EFCC Adebisi Adeni, standing for Rotimi Jacobs, prayed the court to fix a date for trial and remand the accused in prison custody. Counsel to the first defendant, Samuel Zibiri SAN, on the other hand, told the court that he had a pending bail application dated March 2, 2016 and filed March 3, 2016. He prayed the court to admit the defendant to bail. Justice Abang, in turning down the application, said the motion is not competent as it was filed before arraignment. According to the judge, who made reference to a decision of the Supreme Court in a similar matter, a court will have jurisdiction over defendant upon arraignment and not before arraignment. Consequently, he ordered the accused person to be remanded in Kuje prison and adjourned to March 10, 2016 and March 14, 2016 for hearing on the bail application and commencement of trial respectively. The judge also warned that he would not entertain unnecessary interlocutory application until the substantive matter is concluded.
With that report, we've come to the end of this week's edition of The Eagle. But before we go, here are some of our major stories today. We told you that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has lauded the support the Commission had received over years from the British government in its drive to purge Nigeria of corruption.
And a prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of a former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, and his Commissioner of Finance, Omadachi Okolobia, has told Justice A.R. Mohammed of the Federal High Court Abuja how his company was used to sell shares belonging to Benue State by the defendants.
And in its quest to rid the country of corruption, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has again been called upon to remain dogged in its mandate aimed at having a corrupt-free society in Nigeria. And that's it on today's edition of the program. Please don't forget to send your feedback to us via the Eagle at efccnigeria.org. You can also like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC or search for us on Google Plus at official EFCC.
You can also follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. And to catch up with all our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/official EFCC. My name is Aisha Mohammed. Good evening.
And I'm Aisha Gambari, hoping to see you next week. God bless Nigeria.